What up? What up? It's Eric, and welcome to another episode of Dem Nuggets. Today's video, we're talking about who you are, right? And who you see yourself as. The nugget for today is you are as valuable as you think that you are. The reason that's a nugget is because oftentimes we let other people dictate how valuable we are. We let other people tell us what we're good at, what we should be doing, how our life should function. And they dictate how we even see ourselves. I saw this awesome quote the other day by Eleanor Roosevelt. That quote said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." But we allow people to make ourselves feel like we're less than them, less than what we should be, less than whatever, right? They can't do that without your permission. Man, I read that and I'm like, shoot, man, how many times have I allowed somebody to make me feel like less than a person than I know that I am because I gave them that permission? I'm like, it's a nugget. And one of the ways that we do that is by comparing ourselves with other people, right? We may look at somebody that is doing something that we like to do, or they may be doing the same thing that we're doing, but they're doing it at a much higher level. And we allow the perception of what they're doing to diminish our self-worth or how we see ourselves, right? It's really easy to do that, especially if you are jumping into a new field. I've done that myself, right? In doing this YouTube thing. I mean, I'm looking at people out there killing the game, right? There's a bunch of folks out there doing very well for themselves. And I have to catch myself because oftentimes I want to compare what's happening on my channel with what's happening on their channel without realizing, man, you know what? They have a whole lot of other things that I don't have, or they may have tenure in this that I don't have, or they may have a team that I don't have, right? I can't compare someone else's results without looking at the work, the infrastructure, the network that they are using going into this thing. And so it's like, don't compare yourself because oftentimes you won't have all the information to adequately compare yourself. So that's key. That's a nugget for this one as well. So as I always do, right, I want to give y'all a tactical means of being able to apply this nugget. So how do you see yourself as more valuable? Step number one, you decide. You decide that you are valuable. You got to make that decision, right? You got to do the work mentally to break down everything that you have allowed into you that tells you that you are not valuable. You got to dismiss all of that mess and you have to decide, you know what? All of that's a lie. I know I'm valuable and I decide today to start believing that I'm valuable. That's step number one. Step number two is to stop listening and believing voices that may be trying to actively tell you that you're not valuable. So the first one will deal with those thoughts, those voices, ideas that came in the past and that have embedded themselves into your mind. Step number two deals with active voices that may be speaking into your life today that you got the opportunity to either agree with or to reject. So what I'm telling you is reject those thoughts that are telling you that you are not worth it, that you are not valuable, that you're not good enough. Shut them down. And if you can distance yourself from them, please do, right? I know in some cases there's people that we got to be around and that's just how they talk. Well, in those cases, you just make a decision that you're not going to agree and consent with those thoughts. And in the other ones, the ones you can bounce, man, bounce them jokers, man. You don't need people telling you that you are not as valuable as you know you can be and as you know you are. So bounce those out of your life. So step number three, act like you are valuable. So you've made the decision that you are valuable. You are bouncing and you're ignoring voices that try to speak into your life to tell you that you're not valuable. And now it's time to act like you're valuable. That your actions could potentially even start silencing some of those voices that are trying to tell you that you're not valuable, right? If you know you deserve to be a college student, right? Act like that. Go ahead and put your application in, right? Go ahead and start studying some of that material, right? Act like you belong in college, right? If you're doing something at your job, right? If a company is paying you to do a certain job and somebody's starting to, or somebody has been downing you in that job, you act like you belong there because you do. They paying you. You getting a check to do what you're doing. Act like you belong there, right? And then the more that you do that, the more that you demand your value by acting it out, right? Not letting people just tell you what they want to tell you, not letting people treat you the way that they want to treat you. When you begin to demand your value, people will start giving it to you, because it's an interesting thing. When we are submissive and we let people kind of dominate us, what it does most of the time is it breeds more domination, right? You then become the type of person to be dominated, and then you attract people that want to dominate you. But the opposite is also true. When you are the type of person that stands tall and that does not allow yourself to be dominated, those dominating voices and personalities, they tend to have to back off, right? Because they realize, oh shoot, I can't get from this person what I used to be able to get. So I gotta go. If I'm the type of person that need to dominate, which, we're another nugget on them kind of people, then I gotta go find somebody else, because this person is no longer a viable candidate for me to dominate. And step number 4, this one I'm going to spend a little bit of time with, right? It's going to hit a little bit different than the other 3. Earn the right to be the type of person that you know you can be. So what do I mean by that? Well, you've decided that you are valuable. You've decided to push out those voices that are telling you that you're not valuable. And now you're acting like the value that you believe that you have. Well, there's certain cases where you can't just act like a value that you believe that you could possess. For example, right? You can't just go up to somebody that's in a high political office and act like you are in a political office too. Nah, you didn't earn the right to be in that political office, right? You can't just go in a courtroom and act like a lawyer because you feel like you should be a lawyer. Nah, man, you got to earn the right to be a lawyer. Now, it's awesome, right? If in your value, right, in your mental value, you see yourself as having the capacity to be a lawyer, fantastic, man. That's exactly what we want you to do. Nobody can tell you that you can't be a lawyer if you believe you can be a lawyer. But you can't just go start being a lawyer because you went through that mental exercise. No, now it's time to start earning the right to be able to be called a lawyer. And that's going to look like you going to school, right? That's going to look like you going into law. It's going to look like you studying. It's going to look like you actually trying to get a position as a lawyer. Now, the whole time you need to hold on to the thought that I can be a lawyer. I am valuable enough to be a lawyer. And then in that process of holding that thought, you work out earning the right to be able to sit in that seat. See, right now, in these early days, my YouTube channel is small. I haven't earned the right to have a bunch of people subscribe to my channel, have a bunch of people watching my videos. But the more that I work in this craft, the more that I put in the time, the more that I put out the content, I will slowly begin to earn the right to be valued as a real YouTuber, right? And I believe right now that I am valuable enough to become one, but I'm walking out earning the right to be able to do that. Now that's it. Hopefully you like this video. If you do, give me a like, drop me some comments, talk about how you keep yourself strong in knowing that you are valuable, and subscribe to the Dem Nugget channel, man. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Jump into the nation, man. It's free. You just hit the button and you with us. So hopefully you're enjoying this content. As always, it's been a pleasure. I'll catch y'all on the next Nugget.